All right, everyone. Welcome back to RPGs We Love, an event put on by the RPGValkyries. I am Dravenheart, one of the Valkyries, and I will be your host for the next run. Coming up here is a game being run by omeganumber for Tales of Maj'Eyal.
That works. I've never heard the developer say the name out loud, so I just call it Maj'Eyal. It was he actually originally started by making a game called Tales of Middle Earth, and then he decided he didn't want copyright lawyers after him, so that's why he changed to Maj'Eyal, and he got its own lore and everything. A couple things before we start, though. First off, is Ultros still the donation incentive name?
Yes, indeed. Name of the hero is going to be Ultros.
There was a bonus. I can actually customize the graphics. So I normally do not look like this, but I made our character a squid thing in honor of Ultros. So there we go. And this is on easier, but it's not going to be easy because we're going to be very, very underleveled. And it's also on exploration mode for marathon safety. I will be attempting to do this deathless. So any roguelike fans out there, if I'm dying, it's not intentional. You can do death warp strats and so forth, but I'm not going to try them with this. I'm going to be basically playing a human, Kornak, and then Anorithil is a light and darkness mage. So I'm going to be shooting laser beams everywhere. All right. There's not quite ready to start the timer yet. It starts on first movement. Some skill points here. This is magic. The two we're going to be focusing on are magic and cunning. Cunning increases our critical hits. I'm going to be just doing just raw damage output because that's how we roll. Okay. Main thing we're going to use is Moonlight Ray. Use it in a second. And we're going to use what's called a category point to boost all our darkness magic, so it hurts even harder. So, okay. So over here we have the most important NPC in the game, I think, High-Sun Paladin Aridin. And we're about to shoot her, so... Hi, Aaron. Start in 3, 2, 1. All right, so welcome to Tales of Maj'Eyal. This is a roguelike, and unfortunately, it means things can move very, very fast, so I'm going to try my best to explain everything. I have to reset here if this doesn't work, but basically we led her over here to this one spot where she's standing on water. And then what should happen is, yep, there we go, it happened. She does not have a water breathing thing, so she just drowned. And we just went from level 1 to level 9. All right, it looks like we got some decent boots. We don't want to wear those because they interfere with their magic. Okay. And a really good item to start with. That was an okay item, but we're going to just keep going with that because that's actually not too bad. Magic as much as we can, and then put everything else in cunning. Make our Moonlight Rays very strong. We're going to boost our critical hits, and we're ready to go. Oh, actually, we have generic points too. So there. I'll explain some of these later. There we go. Okay, perfect. Our first task that we just got given by the NPC we just killed is to stop these Nagas who are coming in through this portal. I should also do some settings while I'm thinking about it. I'm going to change us to be using all darkness magic, basically. So we have a staff. You can't see it because we have a special graphic, but we have a staff. Or darkness does even more damage. But there's this portal that these nagas are coming through. We're actually not starting in Maj'Eyal at all. We're starting in this area called TheRPGValkyries. Just trying to stop this invasion from happening, basically. Okay, I don't think... Okay, I'm going to get new robes in a second, so I don't need that. Okay. One thing to note about this is there's multiple kinds of movement. I'm going to be using a lot of mouse movement, which, if you notice, can click very quickly and move across the map. But the problem with mouse movement is that if there's an enemy in sight, it goes very slow because it's only going to take maybe one step because of, hey, there's an enemy, you can't walk anymore. Whereas if there isn't an enemy, this will just kind of go automatically for me. So I can either use the keyboard if I'm doing like individual steps, or if I'm got kind of a free zone here, I can just click with the mouse and go very fast. Note really about this is there's no mana with the type of character I'm using. So there is a very traditional archmage, and actually the archmage might be, in general, the fastest way to beat the game. There we go. Level up. I'm gonna put one in cunning survival. We'll be getting to that. Archmage in general will be probably the fastest one in the game, but this has a cooler skip at the beginning. And if you're doing master percent kill, I'll explain what that means in a second. This is actually the faster character to play. Using mana at all. So if you look at the upper left here, I'm gonna slow down occasionally to explain something. Sorry about that. Explore in his own. There we go. Like a light and a dark bar. So we've got two kinds of magic. We've got the light magic and we got the dark magic. And unlike regular mana, if you actually use a light spell, your light goes up. So you can just, as long as you don't have a cooldown going on, that's what these numbers are. They're counting down. Cooldown going on. You can cast it as many times as you want. You're not going to run out of that resource. Okay, we found the gate. We're about to explode it in just a second. Whereas the dark magic actually goes down as you use it. So you have to kind of carefully balance the two. It's really interesting to play. It's also very complicated, and it can kind of hurt people's heads a little bit. But like one of my skills, for instance, I don't think you're going to be able to protect you. This is an escort. I just kind of dropped into one at the very beginning. That's not a great situation there. Okay, perfect. In fact, I'm probably just going to ignore you and leave. So one of the things this game has is escort missions where you can actually try to take somebody to a magic circle. And if you get them to it safely, planar beacon's very good to have right now. I think everything else is solid. Corrosive, those, I don't have any gloves right now, so those are better than what I got. Okay, great. So I'm just going to teleport out of here. Anyway, what I was saying about the Anorithil, so there's a kind of an interesting balancing act between you keep your dark magic up so you can cast dark spells, and the light magic here, you're actually kind of turning it into dark magic is what's really going on here. Okay, so okay, I will slow it down. Let's see here. Okay, so we are in the town of Dearth. I just heard that my commentary was a little bit off time here, so I'll try my best here. And we are going to actually do this little quick side quest where we go into this arena. And the main reason why is we get some extra skill points out of it, and it's also a very fast side quest. This is about as fast as a side quest can get in any game. The other thing is we actually really want the particular skill points that going through this gives us. We're going to want the generic points here for boosting this cunning survival. We really want this ability called track, which you'll see in a second. I want it. Okay, cool. I can just tell from the color. I didn't even have to look at it. That's a better staff. And I mean, in fact, I'm still not going to look at it. I'm just going to set it to darkness so I don't forget, and then move on. We did one side quest right there. We're about to do another side quest where stop attack of. But we have to just hang out here, and then there's a village that appears, basically. And we'll see how long it takes. Come on, you can do it. Sometimes it's slow. Sometimes it goes very fast. We do really need this encounter right here for reasons which I'll get into. There we go. I'll see what you can do. Okay. Village is getting attacked. Projectile is getting attacked here, and we just need to find the stop him. Where is he? We want to try to find him before he kills too many of the lumberjacks. There we go. Because we actually get some gold from doing it, and the more we save them, the more gold we get. Let's see here. We did pretty good there. That was a pretty good rescue. Okay, did he drop anything interesting? No. Okay, good. Let's get out of here. Rescue you. Praise Ultros. Side trip, and then we're going to go into kind of the big part of this. I'm not going to talk about the plot too much. We're not going to see it. Actually, a plot to this game that's really interesting. We're just not going to see much of it because we go in and we kill something called the Master. That's why this is called Master Kill. And Vision Rune. Okay. And then let's see here. We still have some gold. Let's see if we can find anything else good. Movement, infusion, regeneration. That's a better regeneration. Let's do the better regeneration. Okay. So this is a roguelike, so there's a lot of me trying to be flexible about what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to replace the less good regeneration. I'm going to put that there. Wrong spot. Mouse activity is a little low. There we go. Q. Okay. See here, we're doing pretty good. And all right, so now we just have 9 levels, get to the master, and win the game. Well, win the category, not the game. The very first part of the game. Let me do this now. There we go. So I can put it into tracking now. Okay, perfect. All right, so have any of you watched a Diablo run before? That where you're trying to find the stairs, and we are getting shot at from afar. Let me talk about getting shot at from afar. Fortunately, it's not as bad as a problem as you might think, because we have this sustain right here, Chant of Resistance, which 3 steps or more away, and that's very important. 3 steps or more away, they will do less damage. Is that as I'm playing, I'm very carefully watching how far away stuff is. So if I'm getting shot by an archer that's 2 steps away, that's actually very, very dangerous. Archers really mess us up in this game. We don't really have much protection against them. So we're going to try to keep our distance, actually, from a lot of enemies that are shooting us from a distance, which classes, if you're playing like a berserker, you're just trying to get close to stuff. You're trying to hit stuff really hard, really close. So thing I'm using right now, it's a beam. So this moonlight ray right here, it actually, the enemy in front, it shoots everybody in a row, which is really nice. There's an auto target, but you quite often want to change the auto target. So you'll see me, it'll target somebody like right in front of me. It will the best shot because I can actually target everybody in that row. So I'm going to move my shot. Now, this other one I'm using, Searing Light, which I'm doing kind of alternating, that is one that uses light magic. But remember what I was saying earlier, it actually goes up rather than down when you use light magic. Doesn't do as powerful, and also doesn't go in a beam. So there, I got to be really careful. He's actually within range, but I can shoot him. There you go. Without too much trouble. Careful of this. Like I said, I'm going to be attempting this deathless. I'm playing on a mode with unlimited lives, so I'm not going to be rude to the hosts here. If I die, I'm going to keep going. It's okay. And it's perfectly valid speedrun-wise to actually die. I think death strats are totally a thing in most speedruns, and I think it's part of the reason why roguelike players aren't even really aware of speedruns because they're not even thinking in those terms. And actually, it can be a little hard to sort of reformulate your brain in that sense. Just going fast because you want to. You're used to, you get to stop to think about stuff. In this, you're making very fast decisions. A little better than the other one, I think. Hold on a second. This is Sensing Dragons at 8 radius. Extra radius of 9 will help. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to replace my current vision with my new one. They're perfect. Okay. I just got a new escort. I might actually sort of try to escort this one, although I'm not going to be trying too hard. Because here we go. The escort just goes right there. Should be able to get at least a magic boost. There we go. Magic boost out of that. So basically, if you manage to do the escort successfully, you can either get some sort of skill or some sort of status boost. And in this case, I'm trying to pump my magic as much as possible. So keep an eye out for the little purple things on the mini map. So if you notice in the upper right, it is right now. There you go. I don't have to do anything. Just found it right away. So the RNG giveth and the RNG taketh away. So I'm sure there's going to be a level where that makes up totally for what just happened just now. Okay, there we go. I needed to make sure that guy was dead because, again, I'm really worried about the archers. They're the most likely to cause me pain. Right, now this guy, I'm going to do my skill, which actually hurts both of us, but that's okay because I can heal him again. There you go. I healed my escort. Another mage. Where is he going? I can talk with him, but that's... All right. Nope. I'm just going to go on. Down the stairs. Sorry, warrior. I'm a squid thing. I only care about people so much. Warrior.
Oh,
wow.
If I could chime in for a moment here. Just to remind everyone, we do have some incentive goals for our next run coming up, where you can rename Fuji and Sumo in Final Fantasy Adventure, as well as if you want to see Bowie not use the B button in Mana Castle, that is a $75 goal. So be sure to get your donations in here soon.
Please donate for that second one. I really want to see that second one. That I've never seen that done that before. That sounds amazing. So I'm sure it'll be incredible. I didn't want to add any extra challenges to me. So sorry about that. Hey, we get this cool squid character from incentive. All right, so basically we're going to try to avoid crowds too much. So I'm going to find them a little bit for the experience, but I'm trying to find those stairs. Actually a little easier to find the stairs if we have this zoomed out a bit, but then it makes it harder for people watching to see what's going on. Like really experienced players, you actually can even play this in ASCII mode. So if you can imagine, your guy's a little @ symbol. I mean, this is like very old school. Like if you've played NetHack or something like that, you can change it to be like that. You can change this totally be in ASCII, no graphics whatsoever. However, I think that's probably not going to be understand what's going on. I'm sure it's still, for people who've never played a roguelike before, this is still a little confusing. So if my host has a question on something that I'm not seeing, that like, that'd be good to ask. So there we go. I tried to do a step so I would line these guys up. You know, as I said about the beams, I'm trying as much as possible to use the beam ability of my stuff. But I do have Starfall now. I basically have the equivalent of a fireball that I can drop on things here. Other sustains, by the way, I have 2 sustains. I've got chance and I've got hymns, and there's all sorts of complications involved with those things. But basically, I'm going to spend most of my time where I have my sustains on. One of the things is, like I said, the distance attacks, making them not do as much damage. Sustains do is cause my attacks to do more damage. So this one, hymn of detection, I see enemies better that are trying to be invisible. Come on. This is the level. There's always a level from like 1 through 5 that takes a while to find the stairs. I think this is going to be the level. So the other thing that it does is makes my critical hits hit harder. So remember, I was bumping up the cunning. I've been doing everything possible so my critical hits damage, and that's especially important for fighting the master, the last enemy. The master. Let me kind of pump this up a little bit while I'm talking about this. The master is one of the most difficult bosses in the whole game. So we're not even talking about just this run, but the whole game. The master is pretty infamous about being difficult. And you might ask, why is the master difficult? Well, it's an undead who can summon other undead and a bow artifact. So I might set it on auto explore here in a second. Auto explore, by the way, the game can actually search around for you. You don't have to even step on your own here. I was hoping to find the stairs without it, but it looks like I've got bad enough luck on this one that I'm just going to the slow way. There you go. Okay. So master summons other undead pretty much as many times as he wants to. Oh, more enemies. With auto searches also, it doesn't let you, if there's more enemies, you gotta fight them. Looking on the map, where it's gonna be in the lower left, I think. Let me try. Enemy, stop it. Let's click on the mini map so you're at least a little bit faster. Right through the enemies. Oh, I see what happened. There's, I think a door got opened that wasn't open before, so there's a bunch of them that spilled out. Okay, beautiful. So in addition to summoning enemies, oh, there you go, I see the stairs. Turn invisible. You can teleport. An ice block. And, which I'm not even going to talk about yet, but he has something that makes it even worse than you might ever expect, and we're going to have to deal with it. So you'll see when we get there. So there's a secret ability that first time you ever play this, you see it and it's like, oh my goodness, why would you ever do that to any player ever? But okay, tier 2, illuminate, change save. I don't need the illuminate as much. I think it's worth it to swap. Okay, I'm going to swap. Hi, stairs. Okay, bye, Temporal Explorer. We don't need you. Oh boy. Okay, so we are on level 6, so things actually start getting more dangerous. I only die in the earlier levels if I mess up, if I like really have a mistake, big mistake. We're starting to get to the point where it's going to be like, there we go, mini boss. We just found a mini boss. Hi there, mini boss. You want to be my friend? Mini bosses that will try to, okay, we're going to drop a jump gate. And I'm going to switch to him with shadows. That will make me run a little faster. For that, okay. Go away. I'm gonna go for it rather than try to fight this boss, but this guy is not that bad of a mini boss to fight. There's a really bad one that's very resistant to like everything. Healing, shield. All right, I'm going to try to talk about all the things that are going wrong right now. So this guy kind of cast this sticky glue down there. That's one problem. Okay, good. That's perfect. Now this will hopefully stun him. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to do an infusion wild right now. It's a little risky. So one of my skills right here will actually cure something that's like a physical effect on me. It will also more. Okay, I'm trying to do this deathless, like I said. So I've got somebody shooting me from afar. Let's see. How do I want to roll this? Okay, I'm gonna teleport back, so I can get out of the range of the guy teleporting at me. So I'm sorry, guys.
All right, just going to chime in here for a second. We did get a $2.03 donation from Rivers McCowan to for the FF4 runs for naming Rosa Kotaku.
The 2 times hailed by Kotaku runner Rivers McCown.
Yep. Double acclaimed speedrunner Rivers McCowan.
So there were 2 of them. What? How are there 2 of them? Like when did this happen?
Judging by the number of articles that he's had, so he's had two interviews. So.
Wow. Pretty impressive. I mean, he's a world famous RPG speedrunner now, and happens when you're world famous. And I did have to burn 1 extra life. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So I apologize to the roguelike fans out there. This is not going to be a pure run, but there shouldn't be that much death. Okay. Black boots are good. These are movement speed, which we want. Although this is good too. We got 2 kinds of good boots. Goodness gracious. I might actually need to switch between the 2. All right. So, sorry that was a little less slick than I would have liked, but it worked. He died, and we're still pretty good on schedule. I also forgot to hit my splits. Incidentally, in case you're curious, world record, which is on my splits, is 23:32. I don't think we're going to make that. Kind of impossible right now. But I'm actually going a little slower than I quite often do if I try to go for a world record, because it's a little hard to explain things and do all this at the same time. So that's a better pickaxe. I actually got to grab that. Remember that side trip I mentioned earlier, where I said it was really important to do that? The main reason for the side trip is if I did not get a pickaxe ends up becoming really important for the very end of this run, and you'll see why when we get there. But I definitely needed that pickaxe, otherwise I could be in trouble later. Good so far. My vision is missing a part of the map, and that's because that's a vault. Vaults in this game they're a tradition that go back way back to like some of the earliest roguelikes. Okay. And it's basically an area with a ton of enemies all at once. So they'll be spawning like an entire room full is essentially what it is. Now those, you can imagine, might be good for like if you're wanting to get a whole bunch of experience points or something. We don't really need to grind experience points in this game. It's not necessary. But if you're actually like, I want to look at a bunch of artifacts, a bunch of enemies, like want to kill them all at once, you might go for a vault. Now the nice thing about the vault is the stairs are not going to be there. Let's see here. Incidentally, one of the other things I'm using, I just use it right there, is Shadow Blast. I'm not pumping it up because it's not nearly as good as my other abilities, but essentially what it does is kind of like a sustained field of darkness, and if something steps into it, they'll get hurt kind of continuously. Okay. I'm sure it's somewhere obvious. One of the things that's kind of funny about running this kind of game is you're looking at this. I would never play a game with this much RNG. I've never really cursed bad RNG playing this game. It's really weird. But when you had this much RNG, when all the levels are literally random, when you might get certain mini bosses or you might not, when you toss in all those things together, it doesn't really feel like the same thing as normal RNG anymore. Like if you're playing a game where there's let's say Mario 3. There's a part in there where these hands near the end of the game that kind of pop out at you. It's totally random if get you or not. And if they get you, you lose time and there's nothing you can do about it. And there's not a lot of RPGs where there's stuff like that. You know, you lose time, there's nothing you can do about it. And this one, there's just, it's going to happen. There's things that there's going to be I've never seen that before in any run you do. And that makes it so like everything kind of balances out. Like, wow, I don't have to RNG is almost my friend. Like sometimes it's going to give me stuff, but sometimes it's going to take stuff away. Get all upset about it anymore. It's really kind of a liberating feeling. I don't know if that makes this kind of like a therapy game or something. So some of you have really been beaten down by bad RNG before, you might want to try this game. But okay. Yeah, it makes it so that no longer that in terms of I got bad RNG, it's just sometimes the game will give me stuff, sometimes it will take stuff away. There was a lot of complicated things in my movement there. I wish I could explain everything. The problem is though, these spiders do send webs at me and so they can slow me down. Okay. Hello. So Master Vampires, there's all sorts of complicated things now tossing stuff at me. So, and right now I'm resisting this cold field he's sending at me. If you're not sure everything that's going on, just imagine you're somebody like me who only sort of plays JRPGs and watching one of those JRPG runs. Usually, I've got a lot more experience with Western games, so I still don't understand everything you guys are doing in like Final Fantasy VI sometimes. It's just, I've played it through. I played it all the way through, but familiar enough sometimes. And I think the same thing, like a lot of people who play roguelikes are watching this are like, okay, I understand all this. Yeah, I can understand how there'd be a little difference there. Okay, we're almost done, by the way. We're at 8, almost done with run. Got frozen, hello. Already talked about the master. There. Hold on here. I gotta get in crisis mode here. Give me a second. Okay, I could blast this guy. Ah! All right. Allocate my points. Getting nervous here. Okay. Wait, one more there. And Constitution. Perfect. I had a way out of there. I just lost concentration for a moment. I'm sorry. So, I'll just keep talking. So we're getting close. What's going to happen on the next level, because it's going to be very soon. I doubt it's going to take me too much longer to find the stairs here. I mentioned the pickaxe earlier. The very first thing you're going to do is actually dig, because you can make you can actually do this with other monsters too, but you can actually make a configuration a configuration that makes you a lot safer from the master. You'll see it in a second. And then, there you go, we found it. Okay. I just myself with my own. We're lined up for that.
Am I good to chime in for a moment here, Omega?
Absolutely. I was wondering where you went. Go
I've
ahead.
been here. We just got a $140 donation from Bouquet for put this towards the 2 Lunar Legend incentives. So our incentives for Lunar Legend are indeed met. We do have plenty of other runs that need a lot of TLC, including the naming incentives for Bowie's FF Adventure run coming up next, as well as seeing him not use the B button in Mana Castle. So please get your donations in here soon.
We're gonna try to do this part deathless. We'll make the roguelike fans happy. We're gonna try to kill the master without dying. Times before, but marathon luck. We'll see how it goes. All right. So first thing you're gonna do, I spot. So let me do tracking just in case he's like really close. No, he's not really close. Good. Only in case something goes wrong, I'm gonna at least need a little bit of space here. The pickaxe, some players don't ever use, but it's actually one of the most powerful items in the game. You can shape the environment to be whatever you want it to be. Okay, and that's kind of my emergency thing. Probably where I'm actually going to use it somewhere else because I don't see right now. But basically, this is the hunt is on. That's what this is about right now. And once I see where he's located, I'm going to try to prepare. I'm actually not even using mouse movement anymore. I'm going to use keyboard movement. Again, I'm going to try to do this deathless. I've got about 10 minutes to kill him too. So all things well, fingers crossed. Let's see. All right. I do still have to fight through these enemies annoyingly enough, even though, I mean, these guys aren't going to cause too much trouble. I don't see him up there. I believe there's a vault. One of the other things about vaults is that your tracking doesn't work through it. And if you see like a really giant gap somewhere, hey, there's... So the master will not be in a vault. So that's good. That eliminates something else. I'm surrounded. I'm going to teleport out. I haven't used this artifact yet, but I'm going to right now. Lets me basically what I just did was I went to the Fearscape. I jumped back from the Fearscape. That's like a little demonic realm. And then I brought a bunch of demon fire with me. That's what all that did. Mini teleport from that artifact. One of the hard things about speedrunning this is actually keeping track of your artifacts because like I've got muscle memory for most of my key presses for all my artifacts that I could possibly have. There are definitely some artifacts that can be pretty game changing, but you might not find them, and I can't plan around them. I mean, sometimes just you get something really surprising, and you have to kind of reformulate on the fly. That's what makes this so much fun. It's not just about, oh, I've learned this sequence, and I just need to make sure I do it accurately every time. I've certainly done speedruns like that before, but it's actually through something that's a little bit more complicated. Okay, there's the master. All right. I'm gonna probably run back here. Hang on here. Be comment over here. Yes. Okay. I think I'm gonna do hallway strats because they work pretty well too. That's okay. I can unfreeze. He did turn invisible. I can kind of shoot in the dark here when he does things like turn invisible. All right. I'm going to blast him with the ray. So the fortunate thing about the ray is perfect. All right. So what I really do, I don't want him this close with the way I'm fighting him. Like I said, the 3 steps away rule. Shield, healing. Lead him back to that area I was talking about. So he's going to probably summon at least one thing on me. Let me see here. Okay, so I'm going to turn on, I've got a speed spell I can do real quick. I'm going to hope he follows me. He might not follow me. But let me just use the moment to recover here all my stuff. Perfect. Hi. Will you be my friend? Okay. Who wants to be Ultras's friend? Ultros. Anyway, that doesn't make sense. Okay. He's trying to freeze me again. I do have a spell to get rid of the freezing, fortunately. And we're about to kill him. He's actually almost gone, except for there's a catch, which I did mention that there's going to be a catch. We'll see that in a second. Harder than normal, and the reason why it ended up being not as easy as it quite often is, didn't find a better staff. We're actually working with a level 2 staff. There's 5 levels. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and normally by now we would have found a higher level staff. Okay, we can still do this. Okay, where is he located? He teleported out and he just dropped some friends. Good. Okay, gonna use a moment to recover here. We're still good on time. We should be able to kill him within estimate. Okay, perfect. All right, snipe the master. He was off screen right there. I am also going to shoot this starfall at him. That will stun him, hopefully. Okay, and then I'm going to use this little area that I made the niche to step back. So I'm going to try to hope that he actually comes to me, and that gives me enough time to recover all these skills that I just was using. But he might teleport away like he just did. Okay, so he teleported away. Perfect. Okay, so there's a group of them. I'm going to do the ice ball on him. Actually, not too bad there. Okay, perfect. He is really very close to dead. In front of me, though. Come on, you can do it. He's at 12%. Just one really good hit should do it. Well, the master crumbles before you vanquished, except he's not vanquished. And yes, we did not do that deathless because of the final hit. Unfortunately, we have to kill him twice. He does resurrection. That's part of why he's one of the most infamous bosses, is he does resurrection. I'm sorry, I didn't quite get all the way there. Now I'm losing it here. Hold on. Let me get all my sustains back going, and we were going to finish this guy off. All right. Excellent. Okay. Get toe to toe, so let's keep going toe to toe. All right. Yeah, so there actually is an enemy that does, I believe, either 4 or 5 resurrections. So if you thought that was rough, the hardest enemy to kill in the game, Maj'Eyal. I'm not going to go into details, but there is an enemy who resurrects, like, I think it's 4 or 5 times. Each time they resurrect, this. They resurrect, they will get stronger, so they'll actually like be more resistance than the last time. It is perfect. Wait, one of the cool things about this game is that a lot of the skills kind of do more than one thing. Sorry, guys. One of these skills does more than one thing. So like this totality right here, will kind of make it so that if you have some of these guys in countdown where you can't use them, turn them off countdown. But it'll also increase your damage penetration. of your darkness attacks. So you'll actually, if there's any resistance going on, it will cut through the resistance better. Almost gone. Can we do it? Yep, we're definitely on time track here. We can do this. This is his percent 30. Perfect. Okay. So let me step back a second. Go down there. 31. I'm not doing as many critical hits as I should be. If I was actually like doing the speed run, mainly I'm not finding the main problem was not finding the higher level staff. A staff that doesn't do quite as much damage. That's been kind of the main reason why this isn't going as fast as it could. Perfect. All right, we can do this. Energy from the chat here because he is very close to dead. I just need to get by this next this summoning right here he's got on me. Okay, let's see here. I want to do that. Got a minute and a half. Think we can do this? Come on, give me the energy. It's at 17%. So close. Okay. I'm going to do barrier, twilight, and perfect. Okay. Minute. $80. Perfect. Time. Yeah, that was it. Now there's a lot of plot. Actually, the plot almost begins at this point. So if you step over here, you get staff of absorption and so forth. But I've hit my time. You kind of got a sense of what goes on with one of these games. These are a ton of fun to play. This particular one is free. So if you look up Tales of Maj'Eyal on the internet right now, you can go get it. You can also pay for like a Steam version, and there's some DLC and stuff, but none of that's necessary. Start it for free, and the developer's great, and he's been developing this thing for like 10 years. It's maybe even more. I don't remember how many years it is, but this is a very elaborate game. Thank you so much for letting me play this.
All right, and thank you for running.